Shalom, shalom. We're going to start in 1 minute. Salakia. All praises, all praises. This brother's. Oh, okay. Kashab, you there? Kashab. Am I tripping? Well, I'm waiting for this guy to chime in. Oh. All right, you back? You ready? What's wrong with this guy? Well, either ways, like, share, subscribe to the video. We're gonna go in as soon as I hear this guy's voice. But I'm still trying to set up this blue letter. Give me 1 second. Forgot to put my blue letter verses in. I guess he's having trouble. But anyways, we're gonna start. Oh, here we go. Shalom. What's up? You breaking up? You breaking up bad?
Lord in Christ. Of course. I gotta go and get some Wi-Fi. Some shit is not gonna work.
You said what?
I gotta get some Wi-Fi real quick. I gotta fit in the house.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on over there in your area, but it's all good. I can hear you right now, or for now, but we're gonna start. Hopefully your connection is cool. But anyways, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, name His only begotten Son, who the world we call Jesus Christ. Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. You're on the channel, SICARII San Francisco. Another edition of Late Night Love every Thursday nights. Start a little bit later tonight due to the other live that I'm pretty sure you guys tuned into about the culprit in reference to the other situation. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, there's a lot of wickedness going on. And it actually goes right into the title of the lesson, Void of Understanding. Brother is void of understanding. You know, Chief Priest Alex Lord went into it in reference to not being able to, or not sustaining the law, thinking the law is done away with, and then performing wicked acts that are worthy of death. Like, the brother is really wicked as hell, like ridiculous. Like, why would you cross your mind to do some stuff like that to a child? But we know why, because he's evil. He doesn't fear the Most High. Doesn't want to keep His laws, and he definitely doesn't love his neighbor as himself, because he wouldn't do that to. I mean, obviously, it's somebody that's in his family. So yeah, it's just unfortunate that there's more news in the Israelite community about people doing that type of wickedness. Even like I said, even if they're not quote unquote practicing Israelites, it still happens in our communities, but it's just worse, and it puts a stain on Israelites in reference to just we're seen as a collective, and that type of action is first, like I said, it's criminal. He already has charges against him, but it's just like what do you what's the purpose in his walk at this point, doing that type of stuff? Like, that didn't cross your mind? Like, what can happen in the future? Like, you just out on bail, like like you just upstanding citizen. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Shalom, you back? Kashab, don't tell me your stuff's tweaking again. This guy. But yeah, the brother, the information, like I said, is very damning. And then the other dude that tried to chime in, try to defend him, acting like he's clean. His hands is clean, running his damn mouth. So like, yeah, what's going on, man? You back?
God, it's just my other phone, I guess. And that's the one I have all my notes on.
Oh, should be. Well, all right, we're gonna see. But anyways, I was just talking about the segue into how Chief's live ties into this live.
Okay.
The brother doing dumb stuff, committing acts of wickedness, claiming to be an Israelite. Even like I said, even if they're not claiming to be a Pakistan Israelite, it's still wickedness in our community, like I said. But it's just a bad look, and the Most High definitely gonna see fit to punish that guy. So let's matter of fact, hold on, let me share this on my other platform. I think he just tagged me in something.
Okay.
Oh, my story. Yeah, okay. You see? Yeah, let me share my screen. I don't have all my verses, but we're going to go with what I got. Give me Psalms 119 and 126.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking of so many different verses right now.
119 and 26 or 126?
119 and 126. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Who portraying our army? What are you talking about? No, it's a brother he's a Negro only, I believe. And like I said, if you watched the live on SICARII Water earlier, the brother got child molestation charges on him, and he's obviously a quote unquote Israelite, but he's not doing what he's supposed to do in reference to upholding the Israelite standard of righteousness, or at least striving for righteousness, not necessarily just doing dumb stuff, in the name of his own lust. This is crazy. Um, uh, mm, Damn, where's it at? I think it's in John. I'm thinking, hold on, let me find this real quick. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna add this actually. Salakia. You there?
Con.
Okay. Yeah, read that first.
This is Psalms 119 and 126. It is time for thee, Yahweh, to work, for they have made void thy law.
Exactly. It's time for the Most High Yahweh to work. What type of work is he gonna do? We already know the stipulations that we signed up for. That's not what I wanted. Salakia. Oh, Salak. I don't know why I put that. My bad. I'm over here trying to edit this. Read that one more time, Salak.
This is Psalms 119 and 126. It is time for thee, Yahweh, to work.
Go ahead.
For they made void thy law.
It's time for Yahweh to work. Because who's made void the law? The Israelites, just like the video we mentioned earlier. We made void the Most High's law, so it's time for the Most High to work. That work is going to be what? Inflicting punishments upon the Israelites, because we made a covenant with them. That's what I was referencing. We signed up for this, good and bad. And that's why, like I said, I always reference this verse in Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. Matter of fact, get that real quick. Deuteronomy 30 and 15, I believe. Deuteronomy 30 and 15.
It says, Deuteronomy 30:15, it says, see, I have...
I can't hear you. Your phone might cut out.
Salakia, are we good?
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 30 and 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
And death and evil, read.
So like it says, in that I command thee this day to love Yahweh thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply.
Go ahead.
And the Lord thy God shall bless thee and the land whither thou goest to possess it.
That's what we're commanded. He said is set before his life and good, death and evil. And hold on, is that what I'm looking for? Yeah, keep reading.
Okay. Verse 17. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear,
read,
but shalt be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them.
Exactly. So if you get drawn away, we don't want to serve the Most High. Go ahead.
It says, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish.
Exactly. So when we get to Psalms 119, the first verse that we're reading, it's time for the Most High Yahweh to work. The work is what? The punishments, the judgments, the things that when we go contrary to the Most High's laws, we're going to get judged for those actions. Go ahead.
And that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it.
Read.
Verse 19, it says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you.
Exactly. There's a witness. The day that we entered the covenant, the Most High knows that day. Way back in the time of the wilderness. Read.
Hello? It says that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Read that again.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that
Mm-hmm.
I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing.
Read.
Therefore choose life, that
Exactly.
both thou.
Most High told us to choose life. But as we know, there's no free will in reference to our livelihoods. We may think we have free will, even though, like I said, we all know, okay, I'm going to get up right now. I'm going to use the bathroom. I'm going to eat some food. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to clock in. I'm going to talk a certain way. I'm going to do this. Most High already set it in motion, all these things that we think we're doing, subconsciously. And, we're on autopilot for the most part. Most High already know what's going to happen. But he's putting it in our perspective and our thought process from our level of thinking, because we're, walking and talking and, doing things in our own particular lives. And even way back then, when you read the first verse in this book, or excuse me, not the book, the first verse of Deuteronomy 30, Most High's already talking about us being scattered before we even get to the land, before we even get our kingdom, before we even, have any type of chance to, build ourselves up to become a nation. Most already planned that we was going to be scattered and things like that. So when he comes to verse 19, when he tells us to choose life, this is a precursor to the plan that he had already set in motion for us. Keep reading. But he still wants
Therefore,
right now as well, which is what we're out here teaching our people. Choose life right now, because this is the final hour. Go ahead.
therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Us and our children may live. Choose life. What's the life? Keeping the laws of God. Is that it?
I think I got the other precept you were talking about, us choosing that we chose to do all this.
What you got?
It was
Shalom Nakamaya. And Ayathon, I see you in there. Salaki. Go ahead.
let's see. Pretty sure it's Exodus 24. It's Exodus 24:3. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord hath said will we do.
We gonna do it. So let's sign up for this covenant. The Most High chose us. He saved us from the Egyptians. So we in the wilderness now. We don't know what's going on, but we gotta, we trust our leader Moses and Aaron. And guess what? After this, obviously sprinkle the blood on us after this. So we like, okay, we sign up for this. We don't know what's going on, but we just want to sign on the other line, a blank check, if you want to call it that. Go ahead.
That's verse 6, and it says, and Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that Yahweh hath said will we do, and be obedient.
Yeah, exactly. We already saw the Most High was going to be obedient. But like I said, the Most High had his own plans in place thousands of years ago, all the way up till now. But the main focal point, like to this particular lesson, is we're void of understanding. All the way back then, all the way up to now. Give me Deuteronomy 24:9, I believe. If I remember correctly.
This is Deuteronomy 24:9. It says, remember what Yahweh. Deuteronomy 4:9?
No.
Okay.
It's in Deuteronomy. Where is it at? Is it 24? No, it's 24. Hold on real quick. Man, I know it's Deuteronomy 9:24. I got it dyslexic. Salaki, go ahead. Deuteronomy 9:24.
This is Deuteronomy 9:24. It says, ye have been rebellious against Yahweh from the day that I knew you.
Exactly. So before we even, or excuse me, after we signed up for the covenant, when he gets to Deuteronomy 30, this is before Deuteronomy 30, Deuteronomy 9th chapter. We've been rebellious since the day the Most High knew us. So even though he's later on, 21 chapters later, telling us to choose life, because he said it before, obviously, I mean, it's like it. I know why he's saying that, because obviously this is right before we get into the land. He cut off all the older Israelites, and this is a young generation getting the reinstatement of the covenant, the second law, as Deuteronomy obviously means in the Hebrew. He's telling them to choose life. So, because obviously we're probably mimicking the adults before we Shalom break bread and build. We're mimicking the adults, obviously following in their footsteps, which is obviously what it says in Lamentations as well. Our fathers have sinned and they are not, and we've borne their iniquity. From Exodus, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Exodus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, all that type of stuff, we've been wicked even before we got into the land. So read that again.
Deuteronomy 9:24. Ye have been rebellious against Yahweh from the day that I knew you.
We've been rebellious since the day the Most High knew us. And look, lo and behold, 2021, about to be quote unquote 2022, same instances. Israelites, Black, Hispanic, Native Americans in the Western Hemisphere bugged the hell out doing dumb stuff. As you can tell, like I said, the last video, brother touching little kids, like, it's ridiculous. Selling drugs, all type of prostitution, all type of, killings and murders. That's cool. That's cool in our books. You're the coolest person on the block if you do that. You got all the drug money, all the diamonds and pearls and gold and whatnot. You can travel here to and fro free of charge, or not free of charge, but just at will, no restrictions. Obviously, people do that with regular jobs or businesses, but that's not in wickedness, like I said. And the Most High obviously bless that person to get where they need to go, but they're still probably not righteous if they don't keep the law. But the main objective here is, like I said, people that are void of understanding. So you can still be successful, quote unquote, in the world's eyes, but if you're not keeping the laws of God, then you're on a path of destruction, regardless how you feel. But is that it? Give me John 7:49. We can get back to the lesson.
This is John 7 and verse 49.
Mm-hmm.
It says,
John 7:49. Go ahead.
But this people who knoweth not the law are cursed.
If you don't know the law, you're cursed. This is the New Testament. Why are they cursed? First and foremost, we already read that we signed up for the covenant to follow the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. The Most High recorded a day against us. Okay, this day your forefathers and foremothers signed up for this, for this contract. You got all the stipulations, you got all the do's and don'ts. There's no real gray area. Obviously, everything's not in the law in reference to just everyday, acts in life. But what you can control is what you're reading in the Word, the laws of Moses. But if you don't follow these things, that's when the curses come about. And there's some key ones that we can all tell. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 45 and 46 real quick, and then I'm going to get Leviticus 26.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake
the
till
punishment
thou be destroyed.
Yeah, the curses, Deuteronomy 28, are going to overtake the Israelites until we're destroyed. Read.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy God.
Mm-hmm. Because we didn't listen to the Yahweh. We signed up for the contract, but then we went back on it. We reneged on it, right? That's what it's talking about. Go ahead.
To keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
Go ahead.
Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Exactly. So from Deuteronomy all the way to Yahushai's time, 2,000-3,000 years later, the Israelites still struggling to keep the law, and we're still under the curses 2,000 years after that. Why? We're void of understanding. The key, the term of this particular lesson today, we're void of understanding. We're too cool for school, That's why Yahushua came and actually had a little, I don't want to say it called a revelation, but just, I'd be thinking about the Most High all the time in the Word, and, just ponder different things. And it just hit me like, man, like there's a reason why we didn't necessarily have a real fear of the Most High in certain points as Israelites. This is just me thinking, obviously. I'm not necessarily saying this is what's going on or what happened, but it's like our people were just so, so free to do whatever they wanted, in their eyes. But even though we know the Most High caused it to happen, it's like he had to send Yahushua, because when you read, like you said, obviously in Jeremiah, he divorced Israel as a nation. He didn't have his covering or hedge around us as a hedge of protection, scattered us, things like that. So right before, obviously, the final scattering of the southern kingdom in Rome, he sends Yahushua to be that perfect vessel of what's going to happen, or what could happen if we keep the laws perfectly, having spiritual power, having ultimate wisdom, having people admire you. Even heathens obviously coming to him trying to get healed. So it's kind of like, man, like the Most High really knew that we didn't really have faith, even though he did miracles, sent saved us in battles and wars and things like that, split the seas, split rivers, allowed us to, like I said, overcome nations that were already in the land before us. And it's just like, I'm thinking like, man, like our people was real, like retarded. Like, you feel me? Like we really needed to see somebody do it before we got it. And even still, like we hated them. Like we really had to really visualize things. So that wasn't like, that's why I mean, there wasn't no real faith at that time. And like I said, we had to see it to believe it type thing. Like I said, we're just doing it like in a kind of like it was a job, like a chore. You feel me? So in reference to when Yahushua came, it's like, okay, I'm seeing somebody do it live in person that has understanding, that knows what's at stake, and he's doing it, truly fearing the Most High and actually loving him properly. So when you get to this John 7:49, is like you still don't get it. Like you still don't know what's going on. You're void of understanding. Don't you realize the longer we don't keep the law, we're cursed? Like, don't you know what's going on? Don't you read the Torah in the synagogues all the time, every Sabbath or whatnot? That's our heritage. So why is it taking 3,000 years to get it at Yahushua's time? I'm just thinking this to myself, like, damn, like he had to do that. He had to have that play out that way for us to really grasp the magnitude and like, okay, well, there's still wicked people regardless. 2/3 of our people are going to die in this place, but we had to have that visual confirmation to really have it snap. Like, okay, yeah, like this is what's going to happen if we all do this, But
I was gonna say, even like how you were saying, even when he came, even still, then even having that perfect example, we still weren't getting it, and that's the crazy thing, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and obviously, like I said, it's not meant for everybody to get it the first time. Just like we're waking up now, our parents aren't seeing it, our siblings aren't seeing it, and it's like, okay, people are falling out still. Like, it's kind of like, damn, like what? Like when I found this truth, I'm like, oh, this is it. I hit the ground running, Obviously,
I'm telling you, I was reading that earlier too. Like, I had posted that one. That's the Luke 6:46 one. That says, "And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?"
Exactly.
That's I wish I.
Exactly. You know what's going on. Like I'm the master teacher here. I'm walking in everything I'm saying, but you're not trying to hearken to it because you're so jealous of me because I have a following. Even though it's not of my doing, the most I sent them to be that vessel and that perfect holy person that's going to teach us a proper way to do it. And like I said, that's why I said there's 2 great commandments: love the Most High, love your neighbor as yourself. All those things, all the law hangs on those 2 because everything that you do, like I said, I think I referenced that last week. Like life is all about people, relationships. Unless you just person wants to be inside all day long, like watch TV, just a nerd in that fashion. Which, like I said, not all people, because you still got to eat, you got to go outside and do what they got to do. But it's just about Yahushua was there as that person. Okay, bridge the gap between there's faith that you think you have, and there's real faith, which is internal. Is you gotta have it in your mind, your subconscious, and know and have that knowingly that real what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Basically, to where you're not necessarily worried about anything. Like right now, like I'm not scared to die. Like I know what's going to happen. Like I know what's going on. Israelites were scared to die, so they was doing it out of fear. That's I know Hazar brings that part up. We was doing it out of fear before Yahushua came. Like we was scared of the Levites. So we gotta watch our backs. We can't do things around certain people. But if you're around other wicked people, of course you're gonna condone your actions. But give me Leviticus 26 and 13 and read down to 21.
On Leviticus 26 and 13, and it reads, I am Yahweh your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that you should not be their bondmen. And I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you go upright.
Go ahead.
Con. Verse 14, but if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes,
read,
or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant. Verse 16, I also will do this unto you.
Exactly. I'm going to do this unto you. You break my covenant, you don't follow my commandments. That's why the first verse I read is talking about the Most High going to do a work. He going to go to work on you. He going to do exactly what he said he's going to do in the law. Read.
I will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ag, right? Agu.
What verse is that?
Verse 16.
Agu. Oh yeah, let me look that word up. Actually, Leviticus 26 and 16. You said.
Yeah.
Let me look that up in the Strongs.
I remember Tazapanya going into that in Deuteronomy 28, the consumption that was like going into like lung disease and stuff like that.
Consumption. Let's look that up. Yeah, a wasting disease of the lungs. Matter of fact,
it's just breaking down your body.
Yeah, let me share this actually real quick. The Hebrew. You don't see that? Okay, cool. There you go. Strong's 87829. Shakfeth.
Strong's H 7829. Shakfeth.
That's obviously modern Hebrew. But it says right here, a wasting disease of the lungs. That's a cool way to go. But I want to get this other word. Agu.
And you know what's cold? That's pretty much what's going on right now too. That's what everybody's
COVID. Ooh wee, that's cold. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. Agu is like a fever. It says a fever. Yeah. That's not the inflammation, febrile disease, burning agu, a fever. So basically, a respiratory issue and a fever. So basically, getting colds or even the C19 is a quote unquote listed as a common cold, but it's a different type of variants that they mixed in because obviously some sick freaks, the Edomites, trying to kill people. But let me go back to this. Keep reading, Slakia.
Khan, I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning agu that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, and you shall sow your seed in vain for your enemies.
That happened numerous times over the course of the Israelite history, even right now. Although abortions, like, you're gonna sow your seed in vain, even if they do come to term, like they might die at birth on a birthing table, or die, some type of disease later on when they're a child or something like that. It all occurs. Or like I said, when I don't want to go too far off the subject, even though it kind of ties in. Give me Hosea 9th chapter. This specifically about the Northern Kingdom, but this kind of does tie into all the whole 12. But this is obviously about Hosea. Excuse me. Hosea prophesying about the Northern Kingdom.
So like
13.
This is Hosea 9:13. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place.
Mm-hmm.
But Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer.
That's what happened. Ephraim was set in a pleasant place. It's talking about obviously in the Americas when they came over here. It says what? He gonna bring his children to the murderer. So when you go back to what is 26 and was that 16? You shall sow your seed in vain. That's what happened. You went 9 months, 10 months with labor, and then what happened? The conquistador or whoever white man was in charge ripped the baby out your stomach, fed him to dogs. That's a curse right there, and that's what happens when you void of understanding. And it's a terrible thing to experience. Obviously, seeing it live is probably worse than obviously hearing about it. But it's just like Most High really had it planned out for that to happen, all due to us going against the grain. But keep reading.
Verse 17, it says, "And I will set my face against you."
Where are you at? And I want you to keep reading in Hosea.
Oh, Salakia. 9:13. I'll read that. Read verse 14. It says, "Give them, O Lord, what wilt thou give? Give them a miscarrying womb and dry breast."
And dry breast. So if you have a miscarrying womb and dry breast, that's not that you can't nourish a child with that. You can't produce a child with a miscarrying womb. Having miscarriages isn't a good thing. A lot of women can't have children, which is a curse as well. But even if you do have children, you have dry breasts. You can't feed them, and you got to depend on the white man for some goddamn powdered milk or whatever the case may be. It's ridiculous. Or even worse, some damn cow's milk people think they can consume like it's good. Like, nah, man. All this stuff is the reason for us to get back right and not be void of understanding, to gain understanding and wisdom. And I'll go back to where you was at, Salakia.
Leviticus 26 and 17. "And I will set my face against you."
That's what happens when Most High sets his face against you. All the wickedness that we heard about over the years, all that type of stuff goes down for us going against the Most High's word. Go ahead.
"And ye shall be slain before your enemies."
Every day we wake up, Black, Hispanic getting gunned down by police, Native Americans getting gunned down, women getting sold into prostitution to this day. Got Chief brought out in the Great Lakes, Minnesota area. All them guys getting put on ships right now, sold into prostitution right now. It's ridiculous. Go ahead.
"They that hate you shall reign over you."
Who reigns over us the most? The white man. He hates us through his actions. We can say we hate any other heathen nation, but do we do anything about it? No. We might not spend our money in certain places, but it's not as collective. We know better. Like, okay, we might tell our women, okay, well, buying a wig ain't necessarily too bad, but we know who owns some wig stores. Them Asians or them Arabs. But anyways, keep reading.
And where that even comes from. And it says, "And ye shall flee when none pursueth you."
You don't flee when none pursue you. Why? We don't have nothing. The police show up to your block, you're gonna run because you think obviously you on the hit list because that's what they're known for. Keep reading.
And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins.
Most High gonna punish us 7 times more for our sins. This is before Deuteronomy. So he reiterates this in Deuteronomy, knowing that we're going to do this. We're going to follow through with exactly what he already has situated. Sinning, not following what he planned out for us or had us listen to in the wilderness at this time. Keep reading.
And I will break the pride of your power.
What verse you at?
Verse 19.
Go ahead.
And I will break the pride of your power.
Mm-hmm.
And I will make your heaven as iron and your earth as brass.
Now you read this in Deuteronomy. It's talking about the rain in our crops. Keep reading.
And your strength shall be spent in vain.
Your strength gonna be spent in vain. You can compare this to a few different things. Back in slavery times, us building all the inventions, when the white man turn around and make patents on it so the claim is his. Us fighting each other for the white man's entertainment, like killing each other, all that type of stuff is madness, man. Excuse me, go ahead.
For your land shall not yield her increase.
Our land's not gonna get an increase. That's why it says you'll make the heaven iron and our what does it say?
And your earth as brass.
Our earth is brass. Yeah, exactly. There's not gonna be no water, rain on our crops, and nothing. Nothing's gonna be able to grow. Go ahead.
Neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits.
Exactly. Go ahead.
And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins.
Exactly. That's why we're in generational curses. We've been under the guise of our own vain understanding, knowing that the Most High got us under his thumb because we don't want to get right. So guess what? Everything that said was going to happened. The 7 plagues can be a multitude of things, including the consumption that was referenced, and the fever, which is the Hebrew word for og, or definition for og. But excuse me, our job every week, every day, is to teach our people, hey, do the opposite of what we've been doing. Try righteousness for a change. See what that gets you. You feel me? Like, what's wrong with that? We already know what wickedness can do, what it can lead to. You might be able to prosper for a few years, or stay one step ahead of the law type situation. You might be able to have sex with all these different women without commitment and not have a baby or whatnot. But guess what? One day, hey, you might be having a relationship with a woman. Somebody might pop in and kill you. I've seen that type of story happen before. You cheating on us, or she cheating on it, her do with you, like whatever, adultery. I actually got that down somewhere in here, but we'll get to that. But anyways,
I got a precept too.
What you
got? Jeremiah 4:22.
Yeah,
it says, for my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
That part. So they're wise to do evil, but they have no knowledge. Like I said,
pretty much that sottish part calling us stupid too, even then.
Exactly. We're stupid as hell for thinking that what we're doing is cool. Like we're trying to impress people. People pleasers. Like we're supposed to be pleasing the Most High first, impressing the Most High. Obviously, we have checks and balances amongst each other that hold each other accountable and have guidance, things like that. But the Most High ultimately is when we gotta, dot our I's and cross our T's with, make sure, hey, he knows that I'm doing what's right. But as the title of the show says, we're void of understanding. We don't realize that. Even people in the truth try to play games. There's plenty of things that go on in the truth that, have hit the airwaves, if you want to call it that, put a negative light on us as far as the quote unquote camps and things like that. It's just like, you know what you signed up for. Like I said, our people know that the law, statutes, and commandments is what we need to stick close to more than anything else, rather than follow anybody that's a prominent figure or leader or have a girlfriend or whatever the case may be, or wife, you want to call it. That's fine and dandy, but guess what? The Most High is supposed to bless you if you put him in the kingdom first. That's what Yahushua reference. Put first the kingdom and everything's going to be added unto you. Is that it?
Gone.
Give me Proverbs 11 and 12. Hold on. I know I skipped something, so I got some Sirach verses in here. Give me, Proverbs 11 and 12. And then we're going to go to Sirach. Shalom. Char and Aurora Yala. Shalom.
Lord in Christ. Hold on. This thing ain't even opening no more. Let me get it real fast. Proverbs 11 and 12. There you go. It says, he that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace.
Man. So if the law, or we know the law says to love your neighbor, but if you're void of understanding, you're despising your neighbor. And like I said, that can be defined as many different things, but ultimately it's sin, because despising somebody is pretty much synonymous with hate. Matter of fact, let me look that up.
And that just made me think of, like, if you're void of understanding, right? And Deuteronomy 4 and 6 goes into the statutes and everything is our understanding and our wisdom. So if you don't have no wisdom, you despise your neighbor because you don't love him, right? You're not going to tell him how he's going if you don't tell him none of that stuff.
Exactly. You holding a grudge against them. Let me see. See? Let me share my screen. Look. Look what it says. Despise, feel contempt or deep repugnance for. He despises himself for being selfish. Detest, hate, loathe, abhor, abominate, execrate. All this stuff is synonymous with despising somebody. So if you hate, or if you despise somebody, you're hating them pretty much. Loathe and abhor is pretty much the same thing. Detest is the same thing. Like, you can't stand them. Like, you just want to hurt somebody in that regard. And that's what our people are used to. They got all this pent up frustrations for maybe their childhood, or how they're living their life, or being around the hood and things like that. Which is, like I said, we think it's cool, even though, like I said, it was a pre-planned situation by the white man put us in those predicaments. But people that know, at least people that think about what they're doing, they already have thoughts like, man, this ain't the lifestyle I want to live. Especially when you start having kids. Like, obviously people have kids, have an epiphany and, things like that. But on a regular basis, even people with kids, they have no problem still gangbanging and doing type of nonsense. But read that verse again, Salakia.
Khan, it says, this is Proverbs 11 and 12. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor.
If you're void of wisdom, you despise your neighbor. You hate your neighbor, which is a sin. Go ahead.
But a man of understanding holdeth his peace.
Yeah, you hold your peace. You don't gotta say anything on your heart. I think that says in Sirach as well. He that holds his tongue is wiser than somebody that speaks his mind. Pretty much, that's what it's referencing.
Like
I said, if you hold your peace, you might be able to think about certain things. Think about why you might feel that type of way, and obviously you can approach him in a fashion to get things off your chest and come into an amends and things like that. But ultimately, you already got to have that in your spirit. The most I got to drop it in your spirit to make that change, and have that certain thought to be okay. Well, why do I feel this way, or why do I want to be around this person if they have me feeling that type of a way about them? When all actuality, like I said, if you want a better relationship, you can just talk about it. If that person don't want to change, or you give some time to change, they don't do it. Okay, I'm just going to separate myself from them because I don't want to despise them and hate them, especially as an Israelite. We got to be able to get away from that. Give me the next chapter, Proverbs 12 and 13.
This is Proverbs 12 and 13. It says, the wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips.
Exactly. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips. So you might be a talebearer. You might be a liar. You might be somebody that swindles people out of money. All that type of stuff. Because you transgress with your lips. You got to coerce somebody to do those type of things for you. Or deceive them to do things for you. And then obviously later on the line, they find out. Excuse me. And you're like, man, I don't care. Like I got what I wanted out of them. Yeah, for real. Where was you at? I mean, it don't really matter, but I haven't heard that name in a while. But anyways, so I can read that again.
It says the wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips. But the just shall come out of trouble.
Exactly. That's why, matter of fact, let me pull this up. I read this.
Even to tie it back in with the other verse that you were talking about, like how many times you heard somebody talking, you thinking it's gonna go somewhere, and you want to cut them off, but you let them finish, and then it just goes into completely something else that you weren't thinking. I mean, it wasn't as bad as you thought it was gonna be, but you were ready to start talking mess to this dude or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly. On Arden, interesting. Well, did you just tell him about the truth or what? You just wanted to escape? Niggas was on some dumb stuff, some youngsters or whatever. Shalakia. Anyways, you about to say something else?
Nah.
Give me Sirach 34 and 8 and read 2:11.
Sirach 34 and 8. It says the law shall be found perfect without lies.
Shalakia, let me pull it up on here. I forgot I gotta go to the other screen. Sirach 34. All praises. Sirach 34 and 8. Go ahead.
It says the law shall be found perfect without lies.
Mm-hmm.
And wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth.
Exactly. So we literally just read that the wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. So when you read this next verse, or excuse me, the first verse in Sirach, what the hell just happened? Oh, never mind. I'm tripping. The law shall be found perfect without lies. So if you in the law, if you keep in the law, you're not going to tell a lie. You're not going to despise your neighbor. You're not going to transgress with your lips, as it says. And then what? Wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. So you're going to speak wisdom. You're not going to speak lies. You're not going to transgress with your lips if you have the law. So that's why if you're void of understanding, guess what? You're automatically going to be in sin. Keep reading.
A man that hath traveled knoweth many things.
A man that travels so many things. You see different cultures. That's why there's people in Mexico, there's people in Central and South America. In the truth, that can prove those people are the Israelites because they've been around them. The elder in Peraza, I believe, his name. Cool brother, Gadite. and speak a lot of different languages. He's always out of the country, teaching our people, inviting people to live outside of the states and experience other things like that. It's a powerful thing. Keep reading.
And he that hath much experience will declare wisdom.
Go ahead.
He that hath no experience knoweth little.
If you have no experience, you know little. Can't really speak on much. Go ahead. Read to 11.
But he that hath traveled is full of prudence. When I travel.
Sorry, let me read this.
Con.
Let's go to the definition of prudence. I like this definition. Let's go here. Prudence. Let's see what it says. The quality of being prudent, cautiousness. Wisdom. That's similar to prudence. Isn't that what we were talking about? Void of understanding, or if you have understanding, meaning what? You have wisdom. You have some type of knowledge. And the prudence that we have to come into is the laws of God. Judgment, good judgment. What else does it say? Shrewdness. Being shrewd is, is kind of a positive thing depending on what area it's in. Sense, common sense, caution, circumspection, discretion, forethought, foresight, care, opposite, folly, recklessness. Ooh wee. So guess what? Read that again.
Con, he that hath no experience knoweth little, but he that hath traveled is full of prudence.
Exactly. I don't want to say if you don't travel, you don't have prudence, because I know some people that don't travel, obviously in the States it's a little bit different, but we know what goes on in different countries. We see the, YouTube videos or, hear about certain stories from our other cultures that, we're familiar with, Puerto Rico and Mexico and Venezuela, El Salvador, all type of stuff, Colombia. We know Brazil. We know what's going on in these countries. Obviously, the news talks about certain things as well, corruption and things like that. So just imagine the people that's moving from there up here, hey, I've seen what goes on in these countries. Our people is 10 times more wicked out there because there's no real structure in the government. But when you read, a man that traveled know many things, and he that have much experience will declare wisdom. So you're going to declare what you saw, know what to do and what not to do, wherever you're at. Like I said, I'm in, obviously, Sacramento. He's in East Palo Alto. If he comes to Sacramento, he can be, okay, well, let's find out where to go. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go around this area. Like, remember we was at South Sac?
Con.
And as soon as y'all pulled up, police was there. It's like, nah, you can't be over here. That was before I even got there. I was like, damn. You know why? Because, hey, it goes down over there. I told y'all to go over there because I knew that's the area we need to go. They need it. But obviously the police was like, nah. But I'm just saying, I know they need it in that area because I know it goes down over there. But obviously just me just going over there just on some, I just want to be over here just to, be around this area. No, why would I do that? I'm not stupid. And like I said, Yashar probably knows the Mac Road, and you go on Mac Road. Certain places over there, like, it's bad. It ain't a place to chill. That ain't a chill spot. You feel me?
And even the cops were telling us it wasn't good because they were tripping on Lily. They were just like, this ain't a good spot for you.
Yeah. I mean, technically, that's where they be at, but I'm just saying, though, that ain't your area. You don't live out there. So, but I'm just saying, though, we're just thinking about the word, but me knowing that, we should have picked another area, but hey, they need the word too, period.
That's right.
All praises, Yashar. But I'm just saying, though, that's what prudence brings. Knowing where to go, what not to go, who to hang around with, what colors to wear in certain areas, all that type of stuff. Because obviously we in Cali, we know people's gang banging left and right, just like the situation that happened a couple weeks ago. The brother was tripping off the dude in the red where we was at. It was like, bro, like, that's so stupid. It's ridiculous. But like I said, if you travel, like I said, you go to Chicago, guess what? Tazapanya and the call gonna put me on game where to go, where not to go, what to wear, what not to wear. Even though we not necessarily tripping because we in the truth, we in the faith, we know the Most High can protect us, but we still not just gonna do nothing stupid. And I think we was talking about this on the call with Chief and Tazadak. We was shooting a video in New York. What was it, last year? Yeah, I think it was early last year. The Brew Walk video. Us not knowing that nothing was going on in New York politics about Pop smoking them and their rival gangs and whatnot. They was beefing, but it was COVID time, so the most I had to where nobody was outside. We was out there by ourselves. But the fact that if it was really like open, we probably would have been caught out in on some nonsense playing that type of music or his beat or whatnot. But guess what? The Most High had set up for a purpose for us to do that. But I'm just saying, though, us having foresight and forethought, like it says in the definition, what does it say? Forethought, discretion, foresight, caution, circumspection, sense, and common sense. That's how you gotta move in this truth. Even though, like I said, we're not necessarily scared to go to certain areas because, like I said, we was in Chicago in the areas. We was in Miami in certain areas. We was in Detroit, in the hoods. We want to go to the hoods, but we're not waltzing through there like we don't, know what's going on or something that could happen. Even though, like, so we're not worried. We have common sense, That's the number one thing I can say most Israelite camps have: common sense, circumspection, keep your head on a swivel type situation because you never know who's going to pull up. The brothers in Long Beach, brothers in San Diego, they know what's going on. Brothers in LA, really in the trenches in LA, because that's the home of the colors and whatnot, if you want to call it that. They're not worried about it. But guess what? The Most High gonna protect them brothers because they're doing the work of the Lord. But prudence still has to play a part, especially telling our people that aren't in the truth where to go when not to go. But
I got a step for you too.
Go ahead. Let me go back.
This is Proverbs 16:20. It says, "He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth in Yahweh, happy is he." Verse 21 says, "The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweet
are going to be called prudent." Why? Because you got common sense. You're thinking ahead. You're having foresight, like it says in the definition. You're thinking about the future, your future, for your health, your well-being. Go ahead.
And it says, "And the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning."
Read that again.
And the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning.
The sweetness of the lips increase learning. You're teaching something positive. You learn something, you teach it. Hey, that's what we're supposed to do. We learn about the Bible. We learn about the laws of God. We got to pass that on to our children's children, as it says in the laws, for us to get up out of this place. So we don't know when it's going to go up in flames. Keep reading.
Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it.
Exactly. Understanding is a wellspring of life to him that have it. And that comes with following the laws of God, man, period. And that can branch off in other areas of life of understanding certain things as well. But the life that we want to live, the life that the Most High is referencing, is the everlasting life. The life of peace and, not having to worry about bills, all that type of stuff. And it will happen in due time. The more this gospel, the true gospel gets spread. But to go back to wisdom, Sirach 38, or 34.
Just to finish that one, it says, "But the instruction of fools is folly."
The instruction of fools is folly. And isn't that what we just read? The opposite of prudence?
Exactly.
We just read that. Recklessness, folly. Those are the two main things that are opposite of prudence. So which one are you going to choose? Like when Yahushua, it's not Yahushua, but Moses put in, or Most High put in the law, choose life. It means choose prudence over folly. Period. Go ahead.
And this is Sirach 34:11. It says, "When I traveled, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express."
Exactly. When I traveled, I saw many things, and I can understand more than I can express. So, like I said, when you get out of your comfort zone, you get out of your own neighborhoods. You travel to New York, you travel to Florida, DC, Houston. Like I said, I've been to all these different places, experiencing certain people, different foods or whatnot. But you don't have to talk about everything when you get back to your home base. So obviously, if you're there with somebody, they experience it with you. You can tell them, certain details. Men don't talk about everything that they see like women. But I'm just saying, though, we already have it in our minds. Oh, I seen it. I seen that. Okay. Learn certain terminology, certain slang, certain, excuse me, certain terms that obviously, our culture, the black and brown culture, we always come up with new words to mean different things, And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be some tied to something negative, but it's just easier how to communicate. It's a more what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say it's more cool, but it's obviously it's more things that we relate to in our culture in a sense. But the ultimate thing we should be relating to, like I said, is being prudent, following the laws of God. Period. That's what we should be getting hip to, with the swiftness. And that's why it also says folly is set in great dignity, because it's being pushed to the forefront about homosexuality, drug dealing, pimping and pandering. Like I said, all that stuff is being pushed to the forefront because that's what they want our people to be used to. They want that to be popular. Hey, you got to do this to get famous now. Guess what? Wear a dress, put fingernail polish on. Then I just see what's buddy name of this said he wears makeup now. Madness, man.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
I forgot it. I don't listen to that garbage anyway. But anyways, I'm like, bro, was it NBA YoungBoy? Like, come on, bro.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Come on, bro. Like, what are you talking about? I like wearing makeup. No, they told you to do that to keep your contract, to keep the memes coming, to keep them concerts going. Nah.
And that's what all the youth is listening to, bro. You're going to see all these kids wearing makeup now.
Crazy, bro. It's ridiculous. Anyways, let's keep going. Let me.
Verse 12?
No. What does 12 say? I don't think I had that.
Kind of says, I was oft times in danger of death, yet I was delivered because of these things.
I was oft times in danger of death, but yet I was delivered because of these things. So when I saw things, I was prudent about it. I had foresight about it. I heard some things. I saw ahead. I read the signs. Got that vibe. Okay, man. I don't want to go here right now. Like I said, you can tell. There's too many people around. Too many. Like at a club, at a bar, like things are going to happen because people are inebriated. Brothers, want to be aggressive towards women, and women deny them, and women, set up people, and vice versa. And that's where things can go down, because that's the type of atmosphere you're in. That's why you got to pick and choose your spots. Me personally, I gave that up a while ago. Like bars and clubs, like what? Like it's never been my thing for real. But like I said, knowing what I know now is like, okay, I think that's why the Most High didn't have me into that nightlife, quote unquote, life. Even though, like I said, I was running the streets, which isn't any better. I'm just saying, though, like putting myself in harm's way isn't a good thing. Whether it's in a bar, club, streets, whatever the case may be, all that stuff is tied to negative outcomes. 2, 3 in the morning, driving around, all on drugs, all that type of stuff is just madness, man. And that's what people are used to, thinking it's cool, trying to prove a point, try to be ultra masculine, when all actuality, all it's going to lead them to is death or in jail, or somebody else getting hurt that they care about. Hold on, let me see. I know I got some Sirach verses. Give me Proverbs 13 and 16.
This is Proverbs 13 and 16. It says, every prudent man dealeth with knowledge.
Go ahead. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge.
But a fool.
So like if you're prudent, the knowledge that you have, like I said, comes from what you've learned, what you've, obviously foresaw, your common sense, as is written. If you're prudent, you deal with knowledge because you have an idea of what area, if you not area of expertise, but the area that you're in, whether it's physically or something that you're reading or something that you plan on doing. Go ahead.
Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly.
A fool lays open his folly, showing that he don't know a damn thing. Like he set himself up for failure. She set herself up for failure. trying to travel by herself, go to different cities and states. Like, there's a story. Did somebody tell me that in the truth, or was it? Oh no, it was I think it was Tazak. He was talking about dude was trying to drug these two women at the bar, or he was being security. I remember. You remember he said that, or was he there for that?
Nah, I don't.
No, Tazak was like, yeah, he was doing security, if I remember correctly. And this Mexican dude was following these two white girls around, trying to drug him, like literally. And he was trying to just pay him off, like, yeah, this here, like some hush money type thing. And the women like was running away from him the whole night, like, bro, like, get out of here. We don't want to deal with you. And he was literally trying to like give him a roofie or something in their drinks and do something to him. So at the end of the night, they like go up to the security, like, hey, bro, like this dude's bugging the hell out, trying to get over on this, like, and he's like trying to tell him to go away. Dude's not listening, trying to throw money at him, like, hey, just look the other way type situation. Like, that's ridiculous. Folly, that brother was have his open folly. Like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, what can happen if you go this route? Like, you go to jail, you might get poked up, or go to jail, and the rest of the situation, like, or kill somebody, and you'd really be in trouble. Like, that's ridiculous, man. Who thinks that way? Like, but anyways, go to hold on, let me see. Proverbs. Damn. I skipped a couple. Yeah, gotta be Proverbs 21:11.
This is Proverbs 1:11. Yeah. It says, when the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise.
Exactly. When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise. You know why? Because our people sometimes, monkey see, monkey do. I don't want to call them monkeys, but that's just a term. Our people, like I said, they look at TV, they listen to music, and they follow suit because they think, like I said, it's cool. It's set up that way for our people to be, followers and be quote unquote sheep, mindless sheep, as they put it. Hear about all the shoot 'em up, bang bang stuff, and you got to be a drug dealer, to buy certain things and get all the women. Guess what? The people that don't know no better, they're gonna fall right in line. But read that again.
When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise.
Exactly. But when you choose that lifestyle and get punished for it, whether it's, physically or, being in a box, in a jail cell, whatever the case may be, you're going to be punished for it. Because you weren't thinking about the end result. You're just thinking about the fun times, the fast money, the fast life. And that's what people are caught up in. Like, why do you want to do that? I know why. Because guess what? Most of our people are downtrodden. It's easy to do that. You can control your time better, I guess. But the end result is death, spiritually and physically. And if you really dead, like I said, you can't do nothing. You in the spirit world. Most High, like, hey, pulled your card, pulled the plug on you, buddy. You didn't choose the right path. Go ahead. And
when the wise is instructed, he receiveth knowledge.
When the wise are instructed, you receive knowledge. Like I said, you're not thinking about folly. You're thinking about something better, trying to better your life. But those void of understanding, guess what? They got to get punished for it.
I got a precept for you too. How you were talking about following each other into that.
Yeah, like whether it's going to jail for right now, or most High, like I said, pulling the plug on you. Both things is going to equal death in regards to how you live your life. Go ahead, unless you repent, like I said, what you still on earth. After that, go ahead. A lot, like I said, there's brothers that do that. Like I said, it's like it. A lot of brothers, SICARII was on that path and then turned from it. You know what I'm saying? Drug dealing, gang banging, whatever the case may be. That's kind of like, I don't want to say it's our moniker, but we're definitely a West Coast based camp for the most part. We started on the West Coast and branched out to East, Washington, LA. Obviously, we're in Northern California. A lot of brothers in SICARII were drawn to the leadership because of their background, knowing, okay, I was doing the same thing as these people, and they're doing something positive. We believe in God. We didn't have that understanding. We didn't want to go to church anymore. Now the Bible makes sense to me because these brothers that used to gang bang, sell drugs, pimp and pander, whatever the case may be, they turned from that and they see that as motivation. Okay, I can do the same thing. I don't have to necessarily be a nerd, but I'm not going to be doing the worst of sins that I was doing before. Go ahead.
This is Proverbs 13 and 20. It says, "He that walketh with wise men shall be wise."
Exactly. If you walk with wise, you're going to be wise. Go ahead.
But a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
Man, why is that? Y'all doing wicked stuff. Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Exactly.
If you see a group of prostitutes and you see somebody that you went to high school with, you see him with her or see her with them, what are you going to think? Oh, just my ex-classmate. She's just over there talking to him. No, she's part of that group. Selling her body, I'm pretty sure. You see brothers wearing the same color in the same group walking down the street. Okay, they probably in the gang, yeah. People aren't just doing things for fun, just for kicks. The company you keep speak volumes, you know. That's why I stopped hanging around with a lot of people. People I know very well, 20 years plus. I'd be like, yeah, I can't do that no more. I might talk to them every now and then, but I'm not hanging out with them. Even my own family sometimes. Can't be around that. I mean, the Most High already said he's going to separate families. How should I reference that? But guess what? The Most High sees everything. So, like I said, read that last part again.
It says, "But a companion of fools shall be destroyed."
Going to be destroyed. Bottom line, Most High put it right there in His Word. We say that all the time. RICO acts, people getting busted as a group. That happened. That happened in Stockton earlier this year, right? People getting arrested, like 50-something people got arrested. But I forgot the gang name, but I think it was like a Cambodian gang or Asian gang, whatever the case may be. They all got, wrapped up in the case they built against them. Folly, fools. Our people do the same thing, though. But since we're so influential, we got all these other nations trying to gangbang now, even overseas.
God.
It's crazy, man.
Even the ones in Japan who don't even funk with each other. They just follow our culture. They like dressing like us. They do all that stuff, even though they don't live that lifestyle, but they want to be like us.
Exactly. There's Asian rappers now. They want to be with black men, and the Asian men want to be with black women. Like, it's just a look. It's just a what's the word? It's just the aesthetic, as they call it. But is that it?
Kind
of. I know I got a verse on here. Give me Sirach 19 and 22.
This is Sirach 19 and 22. It says, "The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom."
The knowledge of wickedness isn't wisdom. It's the exact opposite. It's folly. It's the other word that was linked with folly, recklessness. It's reckless. So let me pull that up on the screen. 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Read.
"Neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence."
Exactly. Sinners aren't thinking in the head. They're thinking about then and now, trying to get whatever they need to do. They're not thinking about any negative consequences. Obviously they might be cautious about certain things, but when it happens, they sign up for that. You know why? Because that's what wickedness gets you. Jail time, death, all that type of stuff. Keep reading. Go to 24, Slot.
Okay. Verse 24. Or read 24 or read 23 too?
Read through 24, yeah. Read through 24.
Okay, verse 23. "There is a wickedness and the same an abomination."
There's a wickedness and the same abomination. Read.
"And there is a fool wanting in wisdom."
Go ahead.
Verse 24. "He that hath small understanding and feareth God is better than one that hath much wisdom, and transgresseth the law of the Most High."
Exactly. So if you have small understanding and fear of the Most High, it's better than somebody that has wisdom that goes against the law, that sins against the Most High's laws. So guess what? Somebody could be brand new in the truth, fear the Most High to the utmost, And the Most High have more mercy on him than somebody that thinks they know it all, but they sin against the Most High. That's what it's talking about.
I got a preset for that too.
So like I said, when we go back to Deuteronomy 30, and it says to choose life, choose life. The Most High already set it in motion who's going to do it, but we still got to be, like I said, a catalyst to give them that nudge. And like it says in the New Testament, we planted the seed, but Yahweh gave the increase. Go ahead. What you got?
This is James 4:17. It says, therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doth it not, to him it is sin.
To him it's sin. If you know to do good and don't do it, it's sin. Why? Because for the most part, even if it's not necessarily a transgression against the Most High's laws, it might not be expedient for you, as they say. Staying out all night, being at certain places when you're not supposed to be there. You might not be doing nothing crazy, but you never know whose judgment you might be in the midst of. You know, if you stay there too long, you never know who's going to pull up and see you and try to test you or whatever the case may be. Especially as men, you already know people want to, be tough and be all brolic and bravado. It's ridiculous, man. The pride and arrogance in our people is just astounding for the most part. And like I said, there's definitely pridefulness amongst the Israelite community, but we're not actually looking to do anything crazy to each other, even though, like I said, a fool's lip calls for strokes. So it does say that in the Bible. Certain things need to be addressed in a certain fashion, but we're not actually seeking that out. Is that it?
Go
to Proverbs 22:3.
This is Proverbs 22:3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil.
A prudent man foreseeth the evil. And what? And hides it. Or
hides himself.
Hides himself. Slakia. So that's what he's supposed to be doing. The evil that's coming to this earth, reference to the race wars and famine of the word, famine of food, all that type of stuff we always reference. How do you hide yourself? You gotta hide yourself by following God's laws. But in a carnal sense, being prudent, like I said, seeing ahead, being cautious, having foresight, having common sense. What else does it say?
Kind of says, but the simple pass on and are punished.
The simple pass on and are punished. Somebody that don't think about the future, don't think about. They don't read the signs ahead. The energy of the room. They don't know how to read the room, as they call it. Because like I said, I still got a definition of prudence up. It says what? Discretion, caution, sense, wisdom, circumspection. That's what it comes with. Reading the room, know what's going on, who's in the area, what time of day it is. Who you might recognize that you might not be on good terms with, or somebody else, vice versa, things like that. All that stuff comes into play.
And especially just tying that just into the world and how dealing with everything. How many times you not been in a party and you see people arguing, you're like, all right, you know what, this is probably gonna go left, man. I'm out. But someone else the simple's gonna stay there and want to see what's going on when we already know what's gonna happen.
Get their phone out and record some dumb shit. Like, it's ridiculous, man.
Exactly.
People love to be around entertainment and drama so much until they hear gunshots and running for their damn life. It happens all the time, especially at house parties. Sometimes clubs too, and bars. Like I said, that's why, in Sacramento, it ain't really. I mean, one thing about Sacramento, and Shark can vouch because we've been out here for a while. Like, all the black clubs then got shot up. Every single one of them, because we can't have nothing. We can never enjoy it enough. Because once too many black people get there, more than likely it's going to be over a woman, or people from the other side of the street see each other and it goes up. Oh, we see them we're going to go outside and wait for him. That type of situation. Okay. Or, oh, you stepped on my shoe. Oh, you spilled a drink on me. Oh, yes, it's on. Like, it's ridiculous, man. The arrogance and pride and just, the level of folly our people show on a night-to-night basis, and especially in the nightlife, it's ridiculous, man. Who wants to put up with that? Who wants to be around that? Somebody that, is
Simple.
infallible. Yeah, it's a simple person. Obviously, like I said, I've had plenty of nights out where I've been around some, I don't want to say every situation, but just there's a lot of niggas in there. You feel me? Like, I know there's niggas in there. I gotta have my head on the swivel, know what's going on. Like, my brother done told me plenty of stories he done been in. Like, damn. Like, all right, well, glad you made it home. You feel me? Like, that's pretty much how I gotta be. But the Most High gonna see fit that his servants make it home. But that's it.
Con.
Give me. Hold on, let me make sure I ain't skipping nothing because this don't have no Sirach verses. Give me Proverbs 6:32 to 35.
Con, this is Proverbs 6:32. And it reads, But whoso committeth adultery with the woman lacketh understanding.
Exactly. You lack understanding when you commit adultery. You think about less getting your nut on. You feel me? You just want to, score a point with this chick or score points with your friends and say, "Oh, I took this woman down." But guess what? It's adultery, and the wage of sin is death, and adultery is a stonable offense, if you want to call it that, a sin that's worthy of death. Keep reading.
He that doth it destroyeth his own soul.
Exactly, destroy your own soul because you signed up for a death certificate. A death sentence. Slakia. You destroy your own soul. You thinking it's just about something physical, but in all actuality, you gotta die for that sin. Go ahead.
A wound and dishonor shall he get.
Exactly, and a woman she's gonna get, obviously. Like, damn, like you had a husband, and or he had a wife, or excuse me, she had a husband, and dude just went into her, like, and you let him. The woman let him. Like, that's ridiculous. You broke the trust. You broke the vow to the Most High over some rod or over some box. Like, that's ridiculous, man. But it happens all the time. So, especially people that don't think sex is marriage. Guess what? They all in a circle of adultery, a cesspool. You feel me? Keep reading.
And his reproach shall not be wiped away.
Your approach will not be wiped away. Their brother had sex with somebody else's wife, or that chick had sex with not necessarily a married man, but cheated on her man. That type of situation. Even though right now we're not gonna put nobody to death, but there's definitely stories of spouses killing somebody over committing adultery on them. I think I showed you that video. I don't know if I showed you, but there's a video of a woman committing adultery with a dude in the house, and dude walked in there, stabbed her to death. Talking about 30, 40, 50 times.
Yeah,
and
that was not it.
Listen, it happens. Happens a lot. But guess what? Their approach not gonna be wiped away. Even though it might be dead, like, oh yeah, she died for that. Oh yeah, hey, in the Most High's eyes, are they wrong? Not necessarily, because that's what it calls for. That's the law against it, or the judgment for it. Go ahead.
Exactly, you can't blame him because verse 34 says, "For jealousy is the rage of a man."
Jealousy is the rage of man. That's just common sense. You love a woman to the point, hey, I'm gonna protect her by any means, especially from these other dogs. You feel me? Especially she look good. That's what men like to see. They like to see a good looking woman. Okay, I'm gonna try to get at her. Okay, I think I look better than him, or if I got more to offer, I'm gonna try to charm my way into her pants. Like, it's a game. But the woman that's at the Most High, she ain't gonna fall for that. They can try to talk to her all she want, but most women, worldly women, Salakia. I don't want to say worldly women. Some women, the truth, probably don't care either. They just want to have a quote unquote, what's it called, a outlet, if you want to call it that. If this don't work out, I can move on to him eventually, or just see where he's at with it. See if he has more to offer, type situation. Wicked as hell. Entertain other men is wicked as hell. But anyways, keep reading.
And it says, "Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance."
Yep. Oh yeah, I caught you cheating. Oh yeah, it's on. Stab. You feel me? Or just gun him down. Hey, it happens. I seen another video where I don't know if it was dude's house might have been a dude's house. The lady was cheating on him with. It was like a snow day. Have you seen that video where a dude's
Nah.
parked like way down the street, and then the woman's backing out of his driveway, and all of a sudden you see the dude come out the blue, like all the way down the street, and just crash into the car. Bam! The dude comes out. Yeah, Shoshana, you might be right. You might be right. The dude comes out the house, or no, he crashes into the wife's car. Bam! I think she's at the dude's house. He's parked way down the street, is waiting for her because he sees the car. She backs out of the driveway. Dude comes down. Bam! Hits her. He hops out the car. Pap, pap, pap. Pops at her.
God.
The dude she's cheating on, or dude she's cheating with, comes out the house thinking it's just a regular accident. Walks up to the car. What the hell? Dude, bap, 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 guns him down. Went to the house. Who knows? Huh?
I'm like, do you blame him? Nah.
In the Most High's eyes, it's a judgment. What can you say? Jealousy is a rage of man. It's ridiculous, man. That's why you got to choose your spouse wisely, man. There's ups and downs in every marriage, but guess what? The Most High sends you somebody that's, from him. It's probably never going to come to that. So death do you part. Hey, you cheated on me, you got to die, and that's when we're going to part. But
God.
I'm just saying, though, that's pretty much how it works. In that reference, if you cheat, but like I said, that's why it's a sin punishable by death, because it's such a sacred, or it's breaking a sacred vow and a sacred ceremonial thing when you become one flesh with your wife. And that's how you prove sex is marriage. You can only become one flesh by having sex with your spouse. But keep reading.
Khan, he will not regard any ransom.
Mm-hmm.
Neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts.
Exactly. You can't pay him off to turn the other cheek on that. You're going to feel his wrath. And that's how the Most High feels about the children of Israel when we start serving other guys. We cheated on him and have spiritual fornication. And that's all throughout the Bible as well. I think I did a lesson on that a while ago.
Khan, so you do blame him for killing us when we do that?
Exactly. Let me see. Give me Sirach 34, 1-2.
Kind of Sirach 34:1. It says, the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false.
Exactly. The hope of a man is void of understanding is vain and false. Read.
And dreams lift up fools.
Dreams lift up fools. Go ahead.
Whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followeth after the wind.
Exactly. You gonna follow the dream? You can't do it. It was basically a fantasy in a sense. You can't follow after that. But the main point I wanted to make was what? The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain. It's worthlessness. When you think about things that aren't in wisdom and don't prosper or don't have a positive outlook on, or not a positive outlook on life, but it's what the Most High has in store as far as wisdom and understanding and the things that the Most High wants us to do as an Israelite, is vain. It's worthlessness, and it says it's false too. And then those thoughts, those vain thoughts, and the vain hopes, like the hopes, it says that you're foolish for that. When you think about having a good life without the Most High and His laws, it's a dream, and it says it lifts up fools for that fantasy, because the Most High is not going to allow it to happen. And it's like catching after a shadow. You can't do it. And the Most High is not going to let you. Most High is not going to let you reach that goal, especially without His help. And if you do it, like I said, you probably already destined for destruction anyway, because He's not dealing with you. But give me Ezra 7:20. Is that what I want? No, second Ezra's.
God.
I don't know why it says Ezra right here. That's crazy. Oh, I know why. Because where am I at? Oh, second Ezra 7:20 to 24. Let me pull it up.
This is 2nd Ezra 7, verse 20. It says, "For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them."
Exactly. Many that perish in this life. It's like, let me pull it up real quick so people that's watching can see it.
And I didn't even see your hat, man. Damn right. Do more, man.
Oh yeah, I've been, on this wave. We gotta do more in this walk, man.
John.
Read that again, Slakia.
John. 2nd Ezra 7, verse 20. "For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them."
The Israelites gonna perish because they despise the law of God. They gonna die, man. They didn't choose life as it was written. So guess what? Death and evil is there. All the judgments are there. Everything that you don't want to happen will happen negatively. Because the Most High ordained it. Go ahead.
"For God hath given straight commandment to such as came."
Exactly. The Most High gave us a straight commandment to every Israelite that reads the Bible. Read.
"What they should do to live."
Exactly. What we got to do to live? Keep the commandments, period. Go ahead.
"Even as they came,
Mm-hmm.
and what they should observe to avoid punishment."
Exactly. So guess what? If you perish in this life, guess what that makes you? Void of understanding. The theme of the whole lesson. But guess what? It says the Most High gave us a commandment for what we should do to live and then to avoid punishment. You got to observe the laws to avoid punishment. And that's pretty much prudence, right? Common sense, as they call it. Foresight. Okay, if I do this, then the Most High is going to protect me. The Most High is not going to allow things to happen to me. Go ahead.
Verse 22, "Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him."
The Israelites weren't obedient. We read it earlier, Deuteronomy 9 and 24. We were wicked since the Most High knew us. Go ahead.
"But spake against him, and imagined vain things."
Exactly. Your hopes are vain when you are thinking wickedness, thinking about wicked things, not keeping the laws. Go ahead.
"And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds,
Uh-huh.
and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways."
Crazy. You deceived yourself by sinning and said the Most High don't know what's going on, or we don't know the Most High. He don't know us. We don't know the Most High's ways. But guess what? Israelites should know his ways. We got judged by him, and we're still getting judged right now. This is an Ezra's time. Like the Most High, the Most High is so cold. He has history repeat over and over again, and the Israelites getting regenerated, coming back on the earth. Obviously, we don't have no control over who's going to be allotted certain spirits, things like that. But we know 2/3 of our people are the same 2/3 back then, hating on Yahushua, hating on the prophets, all that type of stuff. Nothing's new under the sun except for these vessels that we're in that obviously probably weren't back then, but the same spirits are on the earth. Go ahead. In vessels, Salaki. Go ahead.
Khan, "But his law have they despised, and denied his covenants.
Mm-hmm.
In his statutes have they not been faithful, and have
Read.
not performed his works."
Exactly. We despise the law, denied the covenants and the statutes. We've not been faithful to the Most High, didn't trust in him, and haven't performed his works. We haven't kept the law, period. And guess what that makes us again? Void of understanding. It's not a benefit. There's nothing positive about despising the Most High's law. What's the first verse you read?
I think it was 20.
No. I'm talking about the very first verse. It is
that you brought
time.
out.
It is time for thee, Yahweh, to work, for they have made void the law. So guess what? The second Ezra was it chapter 7, verse 23. And deceives themselves by their wicked deeds, and said to the Most High that he is not and knew not of his ways. How is that? When in Psalms it says, or assuming Leviticus it says, or assuming not Leviticus, but you read in Exodus about us agreeing to the commandments, and obviously us being Israelites, knowing that the Levites are going to teach us the law. How can we not know the Most High's ways when he judges other nations when we're in his good graces? You know, it doesn't make any sense. And that's why not Yahweh, but when I read John 7, there's people that don't know not the law are cursed. So how can Ezra say that, and then 400 or 500 years later, in the New Testament, it says the people that don't know the law are cursed, and we not know what's going on under Roman rule? It's crazy. Void of understanding. It's crazy, man. But
got a precept too. This is 2nd Ezra 9 and 11. And they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it.
Go ahead.
The same must know it after death by pain.
Plain and simple. Break God's law, die in your sins. You're going to know it when you get regenerated, if this place gets more time, even though we hope it ends very soon. Give me the next verse, Habakkuk 1, chapter 1, verse 1 to 4.
This is Habakkuk 1 and 1. The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear?
Exactly.
Even
How long are we going to cry to the Most High? Because Habakkuk is in Babylon too. This is the end of Babylon. Go ahead.
Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save.
Exactly. We getting killed in the streets right now. And that's why people think the guy's not real. Oh, we going to Islam and all this other garbage. But it's already prophesied. We're going to do the same thing. We crying to God, we praying, but he's not going to hear us. Why? Because most of us is wicked as hell. And the only time we're going to be saved is when the elect get sealed and the 1/3 get taken up in them chariots, man. 2/3 going to die in America with America. Go ahead.
Why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance?
Exactly. We see the sin our people are doing. We see we're getting punished left and right for it. I'm mourning over it. I'm trying to get us out of it. Like this Habakkuk's same theory where we're talking about. Well, we're doing even till this day. Knowing that our people is bugged out of their damn minds, committing all type of wickedness, say they believe in God, pray to God, and then lose faith because they know he's quote unquote is not hearing them. But we know why he's not hearing us. Most of us, because they're not keeping the laws. Period. Go ahead.
For spoiling and violence are before me.
Go ahead.
And they are that raised up
right now? Isn't spoiling and violence before us right now to this day? Go ahead.
In Babylon.
Exactly. Spirit, the daughter of Babylon, read.
And they are that raise up strife and contention.
Go ahead.
Therefore the law is slacked.
The law is slack. We despise the Most High's law. Go ahead.
And judgment doth never go forth.
Mm-hmm.
For the wicked doth compass about the righteous.
Read.
Therefore, wrong judgment proceedeth.
Exactly. The law is slack, which is not being kept. Judgment's never going forth. We're not correcting each other when people go off. Wicked doth compass about the righteous. There's more wicked and righteous people, obviously. 2/3 is more than 1/3. And then what? Then therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. Who's judging these things wrongfully? Even though, like I said, we're not quote unquote getting judged by our hands, and we're not holding proceedings and things like that. We're not taking the ball in our court. But guess what? The wrong judgment is allowing wickedness to fester and keep going. Because, like I said, we're not in our land. We can't do what we got to do as far as the Levites, having that lawful judgment to people. Because it's obviously in the former Babylon, the wrong judgment's not going forth because the law is slack. We're not upholding the laws, period. The Most High is not defending us at this point. That's what it's talking about. Just how Habakkuk was going through it in Babylon 3,000 years ago, it's going on today. Same exact thing. Give me hold on, let me make sure I don't ship nothing.
And even to just tie it back to that first verse you brought out, verse 5, Like it says, behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told you.
I'm a work
The Most High
in your
was
days.
saying,
I'm a work in your days, which I told you, but you didn't believe. The curses that God told us was going to happen in the wilderness played out as it was written 2,000-3,000 years ago, and it happened exactly how it was written right now. Nothing new under the sun. Give me James 2 and 2-9. Damn, why did I do that? That's crazy. I
now
don't know
this
why
is
I did
James
that.
2 and 2. It says, for if there come unto you your assembly a man with a gold ring, in
Uh-huh.
goodly apparel,
Read.
and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment,
Go ahead.
and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and say unto him, sit thou here in a good place.
Exactly. So if a man come in fly as hell, looking like he got money, somebody else come in there looking like a bum, dirt all in their nails, dirt on their face, ripped clothes, all that type of stuff. That's what it's talking about. You have respect to persons because you think the person got money, you got to treat them well. But in all actuality, like I said, it's a reference to the nation of Israel, how we dealt with like I said, the laws slack and the wrong judgment proceeded. But keep reading.
It says no judgment in the other one. Like it says, and say to the poor, stand thou there, or
Mm.
sit here under my footstool.
Go ahead.
Are ye not then partial in yourselves,
Uh huh.
and are become judges of evil thoughts?
Exactly. Why are you gonna tell this poor man to sit under your footstool and hide himself in this establishment when a rich man come with nice clothes, clean shaven, smelling nice, whatever the case may be? You want to send him in the best seat in the house because he's gonna give you a big tip if you want to call it that, whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
But that's what the Most High is like. You become evil judges, you become judges of evil thoughts because you think this person don't got no money. And I think they did like a prank. I think there's a couple pranks I've seen in reference to that.
Kind of do a lot.
Somebody that owned a restaurant or somebody that had millions of dollars dressed like a bum and poor. It was like a fancy restaurant. They didn't let him in. They want to sit him down. And then he came back like maybe 10 minutes later in like a Ferrari wearing nice clothes, whole different feeling, whole different approach, whole different treatment. He's like, oh man, I was just here. Like, what happened? Like, it's just a common thing, and that's what happened in Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 5, hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith?
Exactly. The Most High chooses the poor of this world. People that don't. The hell? Hold on. Oh, Slovakia. The Most High chose the poor of this world rich in faith because when you're poor, you have more faith because guess what? You don't have distractions in a sense. You don't have things that will turn you away from the Most High and forget about the most important thing in your life that has you alive for the most part, the energy source, Yahweh. Especially as an Israelite, we're still in captivity. People are living it up in captivity, thinking they don't need God no more. And in this context, is referencing, okay, well, this person might be looking better and have more resources than the other person, but they both need Yahweh. They're both in the same predicament, right? They're both in the same restaurant, right? Don't they get the same service? Don't they get the same leeway? No, because guess what? They want the person that's looking like a bum to wait outside for their food.
Hmm.
They want them to wait in the back door, whatever the case may be. They don't want them to turn away other quote unquote good looking people in the establishment. It's ridiculous. Go ahead.
And that also ties into Revelation, right, where it says, you are poor, I have seen your poverty, but you are rich.
Exactly. We're rich in faith because we know the Most High is on our side and he's going to save us eventually. Read.
Hath not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith,
Mm-hmm.
and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him?
Exactly. The Most High going to give you the kingdom if you love him, which is keeping the laws and fearing him. Read.
But ye have despised the poor.
You despise the poor, which is a sin. Read.
Do not rich men oppress you
Mm-hmm.
and draw you before the judgment seats?
Exactly. This poor man, we can get on him more because he can't defend himself. He don't have a lawyer on his side. He got a public defender. He's gonna roll with the punches and bend as we will, as we see fit. That's what happens every day in court, right? With our people, we can't afford no lawyer. Go ahead.
Do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which ye are called?
Exactly. They blaspheme us by having respect to persons. Go ahead. Having wrongful judgments. Read.
Khan, if ye fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, thou that so like it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well.
Exactly. You do well if you kept the royal law. The top two laws: love the Most High, love your neighbor as yourself. That's a royal law. You do well if you do that. Don't respect persons if they have money or not. Treat all Israelites the same. Go ahead.
Khan, but if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin.
You commit sin when you respect persons. Go ahead.
And are convinced of the law as transgressors.
Exactly. People shouldn't get people shouldn't get different treatment as Israelites when it comes to the laws of God, and especially when they're poor. Like I said, like the laws in Israel are basically dictated for our widows and poor for them to get the proper treatment and proper comfort so they can sustain themselves. So they don't have to be poor for too much longer. They can sell themselves, into servitude for a certain amount of time, or like I said, they can just go to the temple, get what they need from the quote unquote tithes from the crops or whatnot, and then sustain themselves that way. That's how the law works. But if you respect persons, you despise the poor, as they say. Excuse me, you're in sin. You're supposed to help out the poor and the widows, verbatim in the law. So if you're not doing that, you respect persons, thinking, okay, if he's dressed a certain way, we gotta, hurry up and shoo him along, not treat him fairly. You're in sin, as James, the Lord's brother, said. Read. Hold on, let me see. Okay, yeah, I think these are all good. Yeah, give me Psalm 7 and 9 to 11.
This is Psalm 7 and 9. And it reads, "Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end."
Exactly. Including with our people. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. Read.
But establish the just. For the righteous God trieth the hearts and reins.
Go ahead.
My defense is of God.
My defense is of God. Go ahead.
Which saveth the upright in heart.
Exactly. You upright in heart, meaning what? You more than likely keeping the law. You have prudence. You're thinking about the proper things. And obviously, you're on the right path because you're not having respect to persons. You're not having vain thoughts. You're not dreaming about stupid things like getting a mansion. Like, what? Like, who cares? That's not going to do nothing for you. Go ahead.
God judgeth the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day.
Exactly. Why would you want to be on the Most High's bad side, especially in these last days? Knowing if you're an Israelite, knowing what you're supposed to do. Like I said, the person that Chief was talking about earlier, Most High is angry with him. That's why he got a charge on him. Trying to do things behind closed doors, he got caught up. Like, brother, that is a sick thing that he did. It's ridiculous. God's angry with him. He might, like I said, he might get a horrible judgment coming soon if you go to jail, especially. People don't play with that type of thing.
Verse 12, is that talking about what he's going to do to us, right? It says, if he turn not, like if we don't turn, it says he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready.
In Psalm 7 and 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Israelites.
Damn.
Yes. It's a song of David. So yeah, David singing this says concerning the words of Cush the Benjamite. So yeah, this is in I think it's in Judges. Where is it at? Where does it talk about that? I think I don't know why it's not in here. Hold on. Well, not Judges. David wasn't alive in Judges. I'm tripping. I don't know why I said Judges. But yes, it's a Psalm of David. Yeah, why did I do that? But yeah, it's definitely
I'm
talking
saying,
about
like, is God is it God who he's saying he will whet his sword? He has bent his bow and made it ready, like for us if we turn not.
Yeah, it's talking about Israelites.
That's cold, man.
He's going to kill Israelites, period. He had also prepared for him instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Exactly. So yeah, behold, he travailed with iniquity and have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it, and has fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. I will praise the Lord according to his righteousness, and I will sing praise to the name of Yahweh the Most High. So yeah, it's talking about Israelites for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it says, what does it say? Yeah, verse 8, the Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Lord, according to my righteousness and according to my integrity that was in me.
Okay. That's cold.
Yeah, it always talks about us getting judged. So I mean, that ain't nothing new. Give me Psalms 119 and 34.
This is Psalms 119, verse 34. It says, give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law. Yeah, I shall observe it with my whole heart.
Exactly. That's what people got to ask for. Especially these people that's coming out of church, like the brother we talked to last time. He left the church, gave us some weird ass, I don't want to call it a breakdown, but some type of formula, I guess, that he heard from the Baptist church or whatever the case may be, thinking that's how you break down the Bible. Like, nah, bro, like we're not the Christian church. That's why he got to pray for understanding. He didn't want to be patient enough to listen to what we had to say because he already had his mind made up. Our people already got their mind made up about the Most High for the most part, but they're not having true faith and sincere, prayers, thinking that they can get proper understanding in the future about the Bible. But the Most High wants people to have faith, and obviously the Most High can do anything he wants. But I'm just thinking, obviously as a man, it's okay. I just know our people are so against the Bible these days that they don't ask for understanding of it. They might hear certain things. A lot of people come to camp and hear the word, never be seen again. Even all these celebrities coming out, with the truth information, they don't care. It's entertainment. They rather be entertained.
That brother that came up, bro, I'm telling you.
Who?
Like, wait, some big name out here. Bro was bugged the hell out.
That dude was tripping. But anyways, give me Proverbs 21 and 21.
Proverbs 21 and 21. It says, he that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness and honor.
Exactly. He that followeth after righteousness findeth mercy. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life. So that's the person that's following the laws. Somebody that's prudent, like we said. You find life when you keep the law, right? Because the law is life. Righteousness and honor, period. That's what righteous. If you follow after righteousness, you're gonna be righteous. It's plain and simple. Our people are so opposed to it that they think you're gonna be a nerd and looked down upon for, turning your life to God. But in all shouty, that's what's gonna save you in these last days. Give me Ecclesiastes 9 and 7 to 8.
This is Ecclesiastes 9 and 7. Go thy way, eat thy bread with joy, and drink thy wine with a merry heart.
Go ahead.
For God now accepteth thy works.
Exactly. He accepts your works. He accepts what you've been doing in the earth in reference to being righteous, finding life, being honored by the Most High, as is just read in the verse before that. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. Kick your feet up. It's more likely, I don't want to say it's kingdom connotation, but the next verse kind of gives me that credence. Go ahead.
Let thy garments be always white.
Let your garments be always white. What is that talking about? It's referencing our walk. Because like I said, when it talks about the elect, it talks about their garments are going to be white. They're going to get a white robe. You know? So let your garment always be white means what? You follow after righteousness to the end. The Most High is not looking at you as a sinner. Go ahead.
And let thy head lack no ointment.
Exactly. Have that wisdom. That's what it's referencing. Don't let your head lack ointment. Don't go without the wisdom, the Holy Spirit, you know? Hold on. Let me see if I can find a precept to that. You had something?
I mean, not really.
Okay. Let me see. I think it's let me find this.
I got one. This is Wisdom of Solomon 8:5-7 in the GNT. It says, "It is good to have riches in this life. Nothing can make you richer than wisdom, who makes everything function.
Exactly.
Is knowledge a useful thing to have?" It says, "Nothing is better than wisdom, who hath given shape to everything that exists.
Go
Do
ahead.
you love justice? All the virtues are the results of wisdom's work. Justice and courage, self-control and understanding. Life
Go ahead.
can offer us nothing more valuable than these."
Exactly. Nothing more valuable than the wisdom. Like I said, it also says what? Wisdom's too high for a fool too. So the Most High wants you to grasp certain things in the Bible. You know, obviously it takes a while to get certain parables and dark sayings, but the basics start with the law. You know, things that you just read as far as the history, things like that.
Con. And that verse 7 in the regular one, it goes back into what we were talking about. It says, "And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life."
Oh, wait, nothing more profitable than getting all that understanding and wisdom. Period, man. Like I said, that can carry you a long way. That's why you know you see all these type of movies and you know hear about quote unquote conspiracies and people that bring out certain information about the government and you know things like that, or have inventions that they don't want to see the light of day. They'll just buy it from them, or you know, kill them and patent it and hide it in the bunker somewhere. Because knowledge is power. Period. Just imagine, like I said, somebody created an engine, a car engine that runs on water. You think they want that out? Guess what happened to him? He's a dead man. Something as simple as that. Somebody with that type of knowledge, we got to kill him. Oh, we can't let this information out. Knowing that we don't need gas no more, that's $1 billion industry. They would lose millions of dollars overnight if that was allowed to reach production stage. I can have a car that runs without gas. You got to go. So I'm saying though, the wisdom in the Bible, that's the most profitable thing that you can have. Why? Because the Most High, the creator of heaven and earth, the God of Israel, he's going to be protecting you on your side if you keep the laws of God. Have that prudence, like it says. Not thinking about vain things, you know?
Oh.
But that's all I had. It's been about 2 hours, 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? We can answer some questions before we close out, you know? All praise to the Most High. Let's see, you got questions. Questions. I got 2 or 3 minutes. Nobody responds. Isaiah 27:9. Groves in your area. What do you mean? Read that, Kishab.
Isaiah 27:9, it says, "By this, therefore, shall the iniquity of Jacob be purged, and that is all the fruit to take away his sin. When he maketh all the stones of an altar as chalk stones that are beaten and slender, the groves and images shall not stand up."
Yeah, she's talking about destroying idols and altars. That's all. What do you mean groves in your area? Yeah, it's talking about our sins being purged, meaning what? We're getting rid of the things that causes sin. But I don't know what your question is, honestly.
This is in the GNT. It says, "But Israel's sins will be forgiven only when the stones of pagan altars are ground up like chalk, and no more incense altars or symbols of the goddess Asherah are left."
Exactly. Getting rid of the sinful things that, like I said, a grove is, in reference to like a stripper pole. An altar is obviously an altar where you bring sacrifices to a false deity. Like that's why he said in GNT it's Ashtoreth. Ashtoreth is an idol. That's where you get Easter from, actually. Ashtoreth goes to Ishtar, and it's Easter in this modern time. Those are the names of, the Babylonian god Ishtar. They transferred it to Ishtar. Or excuse me, yeah, Ishtar is like I think the Greek name for it. Ashtoreth is Canaanite name. Ishtar is the I believe the Greek name, and then Easter is obviously what they have to celebrate now, which is Ashtoreth at its core, the Babylonian deity. Is that all you had, Shashin? Because you didn't really elaborate on the question, but
Huh.
I answered your question. Come on. Any other questions?
Man. Do more, man.
Yeah, I got to get my website up and running so I can sell these. I got some more ideas, but I barely be home, so it is what it is. Is the fifth seal going to be a one-time event or something that happens gradually, progressively? That's definitely a one-time event.
Let me try to find that.
Revelation
6 and 9.
Yeah, read that real quick.
This is Revelation 6 and 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. Want to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
Yeah, it's definitely a gradual situation, but it's still one event. It's just talking about the time we're in right now, pretty much. We're in the fifth seal right now. So yeah, like I said, the sixth seal is talking about the nuclear fire, or excuse me, nuclear missiles or whatnot, the great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth. Obviously, it's talking about the mushroom clouds or whatever the case may be, the fallout. So yeah.
Look how verse 11 in the GNT, it says, Each of them was given a white robe, and they were told to rest a little while longer until the complete number of other servants and believers were killed as they had been.
Exactly. So the dead in Christ rising first. That's talking about Israelites, obviously. So yeah. Some of the elect got to go and die. Most of the 1/3, whatever the case may be, like everybody that's, going against the beast system as an Israelite, I don't want to say 2/3 are going to, be a part of the people that's numbered, but it's definitely talking about Israelites in these days. And yes, in reference to being a gradual, yes, definitely gradual. And it's been going on for a while, actually, ever since we started waking up. Matter of fact, hold on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been going on. The fourth seal is obviously when Esau started conquering the world. So yeah, 1400s all the way up until we started waking up and teaching the truth. Then the fifth seal started, and yeah, we're in the fifth seal, and it's happening obviously over the course of the time until World War III. Any other questions? Questions. All right, 3 minutes. So persecution on us will get worse for bringing out the truth. I mean, not even just for that, just because, Esau, like it says in Revelation, Esau has but a short time, so he's going to bring his wrath down. So it's already prophesied he's going to try to destroy everything before he gets taken out. Was that Revelation 12? Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, and of the sea, for the devils come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So, obviously, like I said, as long as the elect ain't sealed, judgment's going to happen, persecution's going to happen, especially the people that's in the truth. Like I said, they definitely going to, mark us for doing what we're doing. I mean, that's just one thing. Obviously, we're enemies of the white men anyway, just because we're black and Hispanic and Native Indian. So if you ain't down with the program, then I mean, you're gonna die anyway. Not even for the truth, honestly, but the truth for sure is a catalyst for them that know that we're part of the small group of people that preach it. But the simple fact that we're not going with the new world order, they're gonna try to get us out of there.
Even when everything was starting with the whole shutdown and everything, you see people out on the streets, but us reading the Bible. Remember, they were trying to shut us down. They were trying to arrest us for doing this. But everybody else on the street is cool. But we got to be the ones that got to leave, that got to be arrested.
Exactly. This world's backwards, man. But guess what? We made it that way.
And it also says, right, I think that's in Amos, where it says that there's going to be a famine of the word later. So it's for sure going to get worse.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get worse. Are some of the 144,000 going to rise from the dead? Or some of the most of the men not of the elect 104? Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. It says that in Revelation 2. Give me Revelation 20 and 4.
This is Revelation 20 verse 4. It says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years."
Exactly. So there's going to be brothers in the truth dying for the word, the elect for sure. And obviously, yeah, the multitude in Revelation 7, yeah, there's going to be men there. Because that'd be what? An innumerable multitude of just women and children? That'd be crazy. 144,000 men got to sleep with millions of women? Like, nah, that's possible, but I don't think that's how it's going to work. That's ridiculous to me. I don't want to say it's ridiculous, but I don't think that's how the Most High is going to have it. The government, the elect, is the government of Israel. And then obviously the multitude is the men, women, and children that are obviously, or the men that didn't make the elect, and then the women and children, part of the families that are brothers in the elect, that uphold the truth. ZZs. I mean, I'm on IG, I'm on Facebook, so if you hit me up on there, it's good. I don't have Etsy or what's the other one? I don't know. You can hit me up on IG, Dante Salazar, if you have Tassels or Facebook. I'm not sure if you follow me on either, but yeah.
And I think I got 2nd Ezra 2 and 42, because that's pretty much the same thing as he saw. And that one says, I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God, now are they crowned and receive palms. It says these are they, so it's like, of course, it's everybody there, man and woman.
Exactly. Well, no, this is talking about the elect. It's not talking about women. No.
Or is it crowned? It's a
No,
lot.
women ain't getting crowns. No.
Oh, that's true.
It's definitely not happening. All praises break bread and build. Khan. I'm gonna hit you with Dante Salazar. All right. Any more questions? Any more questions? It's 12:50 in California. Appreciate everybody staying up, but it's getting late. I'm gonna be up for a few more hours, so I don't mind. But I'm just saying, I don't want to be on live for another hour, but I will answer questions. Y'all got 1 minute. All right. Questions, going once, going twice. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Matter of fact, oh no, never mind. Over there. All right, I guess that's all she wrote. We're going to close out, give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem HaMashiach Yahushai, the water for tuning in to the late night love session. I believe this is number 16. Next Thursday, we'll be back at it, Lord willing, with a new lesson. If you have any suggestions, you can type in the comments, whatever the case may be. You know, I got to come up with stuff every day, every week. I might go back into the history, actually. So I remember I was supposed to do that a while ago. I'm going to bring out another book, go into it, possibly, and then go into some artifacts. So, yeah, we might have to go into the Israelite history again now I'm thinking about it. But anyways, we're going to close out, like I said, the water for the support, appreciation. You know, I appreciate y'all. But see y'all next week. Like, share, subscribe, and shalom.
Shalom.